Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Zach Cox, and today what we got for you are 4 different Grand Theft Auto characters that you probably forgot appear in multiple games. So I want to say that I purposely left out actually a ton of these characters because the list is seemingly endless, and I just want to cover these kind of smaller scale characters that you guys probably forgot about but are still pretty cool and have cool backstories. So if you guys find the video enjoyable, then at the end of it you can give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet to never miss out on another video game upload. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started with these 4 GTA characters that you forgot appear in multiple games. Starting off in 1986 with GTA Vice City, we actually have Jethro and Dwayne, a very cool duo who we actually meet upon purchasing the boatyard in Vice City, of course. And we actually encounter these 2 clowns when we first walk into the boatyard. They are hiding on a boat, and Tommy, his first priority is just to find the fastest boat in the joint. And upon meeting Dwayne and Jethro, they hook up Tommy, and they're actually portrayed as easygoing, jovial guys who know what they're doing when it comes to engines and high-performance nautical crafts, or just boats, speedboats. And they seem to be just a bit too laid back to be top-tier employees. They almost seem like hippies and descendants of these just hippie characters from the 1970s. Then a few years later, actually, after Tommy Vercetti takes over Vice City, the 2 headed to San Andreas, where they actually meet the Truth, a mystical hippie-esque character in San Andreas, of course, very cool guy. And after meeting the Truth, they actually get hired by Carl Johnson to help with his chop shop in San Fierro. So, very cool turn of events here for these 2 clowns, 2 cool characters that we get to see evolve from one game to another. Next up, we actually have a 2-in-1 package consisting of Avery Carrington and Donald Love. And the reason these 2 are listed together is because they form a master and apprentice relationship in Vice City and Liberty City stories. Now, it starts out with Avery Carrington, a very successful businessman whose fortune was made in real estate. And while he was in Vice City, he took an aspiring entrepreneur, Donald Love, under his wing and taught him that essentially the ends justified the means in the world of business. Now later on, Carrington actually hires Tommy Vercetti to carry out various missions in Vice City, one of those missions actually being one of the hardest ones in all of video game history. I hate it so much and it took me so long to beat. Nonetheless, Tommy is hired by Avery to make his business expansion quicker. Now, as time went by, both Avery and Donald Love built up their empires throughout the 1990s, but by the events of Liberty City stories in 1998, Donald Love has been bankrupt by his bid for the race to become the mayor of Liberty City, and ultimately he actually has Avery Carrington, his mentor, killed so that he can redevelop areas of Liberty City. And another interesting fact to note is that Donald Love, after having Avery killed, he actually eats him because Donald Love is secretly a cannibal. And then Donald Love actually mysteriously disappears and is never seen again in the GTA series. Next up, we have Ken Rosenberg, the crazy, charismatic lawyer and representative of Tommy Vercetti in Vice City and Carl Johnson in GTA San Andreas. And I think it's safe to say that if Tommy or CJ went to trial for just something like jaywalking or a speeding ticket, that they would probably be given the death sentence because Ken Rosenberg is a horrible lawyer. He sucks. He is crazy. And he's probably the most memorable of any of the characters on this list for a good reason. This cowardly lawyer with a pesky cocaine problem and awkward, non-charismatic stature, he offered a great character foil for both Tommy Vercetti in Vice City and CJ in GTA San Andreas. And it's actually hard to say whether or not this man's atrocious record in trials, by his own admission, he admits this himself in-game, whether or not this is due to his incompetence or just constantly representing criminals such as Tommy and CJ who are blatantly guilty. Also, one thing that's kind of weird and something that you might take into consideration is that despite representing these major crime families, Ken Rosenberg is always broke, and we hear him mention this through multiple in-game dialogue. Very interesting and very weird to think that these major crime families who make lots of illegal money that pay Ken to legally, with air quotations around that, represent them, somehow either don't pay him enough or they pay him and he spends it all on drugs. Who knows? Lastly, we have Phil Cassidy, who is featured as a maniac heavy artillery arms dealer throughout 4 different Grand Theft Auto games. And chronologically speaking, Phil Cassidy's first appearance is in GTA Vice City Stories, where he works for Jerry Martinez. Later on, he helps Tommy Vercetti in Vice City rob a bank, but later blows his arm off while drunkenly demonstrating his boomshine explosion. And then sometime after the 1980s are over, Phil moved to Liberty City, where he started a gun shop there, and he actually makes a very tiny cameo in Liberty City Stories. And lastly, he is actually featured in a mission in Grand Theft Auto 3, where he and Claude, the protagonist of that game, defend Phil's gun shop from a team of Colombian cartel members assigned to steal firearms from Phil. And it's very interesting to see this character's evolution over these 4 games, which take place in the span of about 15 years, I believe. And Phil's backstory, it's kind of cool. He is actually presented as a war veteran who constantly talks about flashbacks to the Vietnam War. However, a fun little fact is that multiple characters in-game who are very close to Phil actually say that he wasn't a veteran at all, and he was actually denied service to the U.S. military due to his drunkenness and unstableness. So that's very interesting. And last fact is, I believe that Phil Cassidy is the first ever GTA character to actually appear in multiple Grand Theft Auto games. So if you guys did enjoy this video and feel that it's worthy of a like, then feel free to do that. If we could go for 1,000 likes, that'd be very awesome. And maybe we could do a part 2 to this video featuring more characters that you guys might have forgotten about that appear in multiple games. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet to never miss out on another video game upload on my channel. And with that said out of the way, I believe that's just about it. You guys all take it easy. Have a safe one. My name is Zach Cox, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.